Hello and welcome. Today I will tell you how you can use the 6 needs of mourning to move faster into your best expat life and how you can create your dream life while living abroad. My name is Julia Meder from Dream Finder Coaching, and I'm coaching especially expat partners to help them create a life that they really like while they live abroad. Grief is something that we normally don't want in our life, because normally it means that somebody that is close to us or who was close to us died. But you can also feel grief and mourn when you lost something. So this can be anything. It can be a pet or a friendship, a situation, an identity, whatever it is. So when you're an expat partner and you move abroad, you lose a lot. And so you are allowed to mourn this and to grieve. And the 6 needs of mourning process is really good to look at this process, because most people know the phases of mourning, but this is very strict and rigid, and it means that you have to go through one part to move to the next one, and one comes after the other. But mourning and grieving is very individual. And so the 6 needs of mourning process, which was developed by Alan D. Wolfold, is a lot more individual. So it means that you can do the things, the phases, the needs at different times. You don't have to do them in a certain order. You can do them at the same time sometimes. So it's very individual, and that's what I like about it. And we can apply it to the process of grieving in the expat partner life. And when you use this to understand your grieving and mourning, you can move through it faster and then come into creation mode and really create your best life possible while you live abroad. And this is where I want to get you. In general, the grieving process is very individual, and so maybe you are not grieving at all, or maybe you are sad all the time and you feel the pain a lot. And maybe you already started before you went to live abroad. Maybe it only happened while you were already there. Or maybe you experience this before you go back, or when you're already in the repatriation phase. It happens almost to everybody, but it's very individual when and how strong it is. And you shouldn't judge it. It's not better to feel really sad or to not feel sad at all. There's no value in it. Everything is valid. Every feeling is valid. And if you only feel a little bit of pain, that's good. But if you feel a lot of pain, that's okay as well, as long as you learn to deal with it and move through it somehow. And the 6 needs of mourning will help you to move through it faster. So let's go through them and how they apply to your expat life. The first need of mourning is acceptance of the reality of death. And yes, you are not mourning the death of somebody, but you are mourning the death of your old self, of your old identity, because you left that behind, and now you have a new life. And it's okay to mourn that. But the most important thing is that you accept that it exists, that you lost your old identity, because that's the hard part sometimes, and it might take some time. Maybe it goes really fast because you know now, okay, I'm in a different situation. But sometimes it's hard to accept that you are in a new role right now, and that you don't have your friends around you anymore, or that you lost your job. The accepting part might take time, and give yourself that time. But accepting is very important at one point. The second need of mourning is embrace the pain of loss. And I've talked about it a lot before in all my videos, and also on the podcast. When you have a feeling, and it's a negative feeling, that you need to move through it. There's no way around it. And of course, you can numb that feeling, you can try to push it away, but it will bubble up at one point somewhere along the way. At one point, you will need to deal with this feeling. And the sooner you do that and really work through it and feel through it, the faster you can get on with your life and create a new life and just be happy again. So as hard as it is, feel the feeling, feel through it. Really, if you need to cry, or if you're angry and you need to shout and scream, do that. It's all allowed, and it helps you to move through the pain. Especially tears in the grieving process, they are very common, and they clean your soul. So, and it will get something flowing inside of you. So that's good. So, yeah, if you're feeling the pain, it helps you, and it will get better faster as if you push it away. So embrace the pain of loss. It's okay to mourn your old self. The third need of mourning is remember the person who died. So in our case, it means remember your old self. It's okay to look at the little rituals that you had in your old life and maybe somehow bring them to your new life. Maybe, from time to time you dress up as if you go to work in your work clothes and put some makeup on and just feel, very official again. Or maybe you always went out with a friend and you had a certain drink at a certain bar. Maybe you can try to mix this drink yourself and meet your friend via Skype, and you can drink it together and chat a little bit. Just try to remember your old life. Don't push it away. Bring it into your new life. Have those little rituals where you can connect to your old life, and then you give it some space, and you have a space where you can mourn it and connect to it, and so it's not all lost. That's a very good way to move through the mourning. The fourth need of mourning is create a new identity. And this is the most important part for me, for the expat partners. Because you had an identity, you had so many roles before you moved abroad. You were a wife, maybe you were surrounded by a bigger family. You had your work, you had your circle of friends that you were always doing stuff with, and you loved it, and maybe you were involved in your children's school a lot more, and you lost a lot of this. Some roles are staying the same, but you lost a few roles, and so there's a void, and you need to create something new. But here I want you to focus on the good side of it, because you are allowed to create your new identity. And it's very important for me that you hear the word create. You can do this. It's your choice which roles you take and which roles you just leave out. So be very conscious about it. Look around. Who offers you which role? Which role are you stepping into? What do you want? Maybe there's something you always wanted to try, and now you can be this person, and you can show a different side of yourself and explore this side. So it's really good, and so many possibilities. So just step into it. And this is what I'm also always working on with my coaching clients, that we create this new identity and something that they really love, and that they have all those possibilities. And first you have to accept it and move through the pain, and then you can start creating. This is not the first thing that you do when you mourn. But at one point, you need to create it, and it's such a good feeling when you do, because you have lost your old identity, but now it's like a playground. You can create something new. So enjoy this and look at the bright side, and not at all the things that you lost, but also at all the things that you gain and that you can do now. The fifth need of mourning is the search for meaning. And when somebody dies, we normally look for the why in life and the meaning of life. And this is a very long process. And here you can also look at the why. Why did this happen to me? How did this, or how does this fit into my whole life? Just take a step back, look at your whole life. Where did you come from? Where do you want to go after this? Where do you want to be when you're old? And how does this experience, this expat time, this new identity that you're creating, how does it fit into your whole life? And this is something beautiful because you can really look for the meaning, and you can also fill your life with meaning, because maybe you're creating an identity that is really meaningful to you, or you do projects or stuff that have a deeper meaning and that fulfill you and give you purpose. This is really beautiful as well if you can do that. And this is a very long process, and you can't do it from one day to the other. But this is also something that you can enjoy and give your life a deeper meaning. The sixth and last need of mourning is receive ongoing support from others. Normally, when somebody dies, in the beginning, you're allowed to cry, everybody listens to you, and they mourn with you. But at one point, they want you to be just your old self and to stop mourning. And then when you're still crying and you still feel the pain and the loss, nobody will listen to you anymore. So it's good to have grieving groups, for example. And the same goes for expat partners. Sometimes it's even harder because nobody understands, because why are you grieving? You're living such an adventure, and it's such a beautiful life, and you're somewhere where the sun is always shining, and why are you sad? But on the other hand, and then you feel guilty, but on the other hand, there are also sometimes people who will listen to you, but at one point they might not be listened anymore. And this is especially true for people who go back, and when they're in the repatriation phase, people might ask, like, okay, so how was it? And then they don't want to hear anymore. And then you're alone with all your memories and your feelings and everything that fills you up, and you can't talk about it. And this is very sad. So it's good to find people who will help you. And you can also join expat partner groups, or you can meet other expat partners where you're living and chat with them. Or you can find a coach, because people like me, we are also trained to deal with tears, to hold the space, and to guide you through the process of creating a better life after the grief. And that's okay. You are allowed to grieve, and you will find people who will listen. That's totally okay. It's just on you to receive this ongoing support, and also to see who wants to help me, and maybe who will not help me. And then make sure that you meet the right people and talk to them about it. And this can also be your partner. So just keep that person in mind as well, because he or she is going through the same process as you are. And when you speak openly about your feelings, then it's always good to you can get a connection and talk about it and help you each other through it. Yeah, so these were the 6 needs of mourning and how they apply to the expat partner life. And I hope they help you a little bit. And if you want to look at them all, because it was way too fast, you can download an infographic where I put everything in there, and you can download it under my website under www.dreamfindercoaching.de/mourning. And mourning with a MOURNENG. And if you want more information in general on this topic, I also did a podcast episode about it. It's episode number 14, and I will link also to it under this video. And if you want to become part of my expat partner circle, which is a newsletter for now, but I will also connect people in webinars with each other, and you will always get ongoing coaching exercises and help and information about expat partner life and how you can create your dream life. So it's really for people to help each other through the expat partner time. And of course, we will also talk about negative feelings like grief, and that it's okay. So it's a safe space for you to talk about it and to be there and to be yourself, then join me, and it's under www.dreamfindercoaching.de/expat-partner-circle. You can sign up, and I would be very, very happy to have you there and discuss with you and connect with you. Yeah, so thank you for listening today about the 6 needs of mourning, and I hope it helped you a little bit. So, and if you want to download the infographic, you can do this on my website, and then see you next week.